Welcome to Get Your Mind Right. Today, we're diving into your questions and insights in our mailbag segment. Thanks to everyone who wrote in. Let's open up the mailbag.
Welcome to Get Your Mind Right, the world's only podcast dedicated to merchant services and digital marketing sales professionals. Well, I'm looking at the calendar right now and it says Friday, and that can only mean one thing: Mailbag Friday, where we tackle the tough questions. Well, we're in week 3 of Mailbags Friday's theme for 2025. How do I get better this year than what I did last year? And this week, we're talking about one of the most underutilized opportunities in sales, and that is warm lead transfers. I hope my good friend Jacob Noah is not driving right now, because if he is, he's liable to crash his car when he hears this topic. Now, whether you're getting these from a colleague, a networking event, or even a casual conversations, warm leads can be a gold mine if you know how to handle them. So today, though, I want to dive into 2 questions that specifically came from this week's mailbag. Number 1, how do you make the most out of warm leads? And 2, what's the value of taking photos of business cards? These 2 things are related. So on the first question, are you making the most out of warm leads? Well, I'm going to start this with a question. What do you do when a warm lead lands in your lap? Do you treat it like the treasure it is, or do you let it cool off thinking, well, I'll get to it later? If it's the latter, you're leaving money on the table. Warm leads are very different from cold calls because someone has already laid the groundwork for you, whether it's through a referral, an event introduction, or a colleague vouching for your service. The trust is already there. Your job is to capitalize on it. But many reps mishandle these leads by failing to act quickly, because a warm lead is like fresh bread. It's best when it's still warm. You wait too long, it cools off, it loses its appeal. The sooner you follow up, the better your chance of converting that lead into a sale are. The next thing is the lack of personalization, because a warm lead isn't just a name and a number, it's an opportunity with context. If you're not referencing how you got the client's information or why you're reaching out, you're missing the point. Some folks overcomplicate the conversation. Don't forget, warm leads already have a level of trust. Don't overthink your pitch. Keep it simple, direct, and align with what your clients' needs are. The last thing is, some people make the mistake of treating it like a cold call, because approaching a warm lead with the same generic script you use for a cold prospect is a rookie mistake. They expect you to know something about them. Show them that you are a top professional. Show them you've already done your homework. So let's get to the meat of this. How do you maximize warm leads? How do you make the most of these golden opportunities? Well, here's a quick playbook. And number 1 is act immediately, if not sooner. Reach out within 24 hours. If you are in a position to act on that warm lead as soon as it hits your hot little hand, then take it. The quicker you act, the more memorable and the more relevant you'll be. And that's what I want. I want to be memorable and I want to be relevant. The next thing is, never forget to reference the connection. Start by saying how you got their information. For example, hey, Jim, we helped Bob Jones with his digital marketing and made him some money, and your name came up. You know Bob, don't you? Well, I'd love to connect with you and explore of how Evolve or how I might be able to help you. The third thing is to ask good questions. Use open-ended questions to understand your clients' needs. Warm leads expect a conversation, not a sales pitch. Always be direct about the next steps. If the conversation is going well, don't be shy about moving things forward. You might say, Mr. Client, based on what we've discussed, it sounds like this solution could really help you. What's a good time for us to get together and we can dive deeper into it? And the last thing is, follow up relentlessly. If you don't hear back after the initial contact, follow up. Warm leads can cool quickly, but a gentle nudge can reignite their interest. So on the next topic, taking pictures of Business cards. Business cards. Those tiny rectangular windows into endless opportunities. Yet a lot of folks treat them like souvenirs from a networking event. They pile up in wallets, desks, and drawers, and eventually they're forgotten. That's where taking a photo of the card comes into play. Here's why snapping that picture is a game changer. First of all, you get immediate accessibility. Let's be honest. How often do you misplace a physical card? Well, taking a photo ensures that you always have that information at your fingertips. No rummaging through piles of paper. Next thing you can do is integrate it with technology. Many CRM apps and contact management tools let you upload photos of business cards and convert them into digital contact. Saves you time and ensures you can follow up more efficiently. Next thing you get is instant action. A photo is more than a backup, it's a trigger for you to act. When you take a picture, you're one step closer to adding the lead to your follow up process. The last thing is you're preserving the context. Let's say you're at a conference, you're collecting cards left and right. By the end of the day, it's easy to forget who's who. Just take a photo and jot down a quick note. Met Bob at lunch. He's interested in XYZ. This simple step can save you a ton of guesswork later. By now, you know why taking a photo is valuable, but here's how to make the most of those cards. When you snap that photo immediately, you want to upload that into your CRM or contacts app on the spot. You don't want to have to rely on your memory to do this. And always add notes. Include context about your interaction. For example, met Bob at the networking event on Thursday. Discussed challenges with payment processing. Don't skip this step. Sometimes you're going to lie to yourself. You're going to tell yourself that you're going to remember. Guess what? You won't. Take an extra few seconds and make the notes. And the next thing to do is to integrate it into your pipeline. Treat business cards like leads, not keepsakes. Add them to your follow-up list and track your interactions. And the fourth thing is to be proactive. If you have a stack of old business cards lying around, spend an hour digitizing them and reaching out. You never know what opportunities that you've been sitting on. Now it's homework time. You didn't think I'd forget about that, did you? Well, don't forget, it's my hallmark. Well, here's what I want you to do. And this week, it's two things. The first thing is look at your list of warm leads. Identify 3 that you haven't followed up with. Reach out today and reference how you got their information. And 2, start that habit of taking photos of every business card you receive. Bonus points if you upload them into your CRM immediately. Now, I've got a bonus for those of you that happen to belong to the Evolve universe. Now, I'm going to have to whisper because this is kind of a secret for non-Evolve people. But for you Evolve people, Evolve provides you resources to call on these leads. These resources you receive are relentless. They save you time and money. For more information, reach out to your relationship manager or Jake No today. And my final thoughts for today. Warm leads and business cards might seem like small details in the grand scheme of sales, but they're often the difference between a missed opportunity and a closed deal. By acting quickly, personalizing your approach, leveraging technology, you can turn these minor interactions into major wins. As always, I want to hear from you. How do you handle warm leads? Got any clever tricks for organizing business cards? Send them my way. I might just feature your tips in an upcoming episode. Well, until next time, keep your mind right, take action, and remember, small steps add up to big results. I'll see you back here on Monday.